Good morning and welcome to All Indiana Bets. I'm Danielle McConnell. It is week 2 of college football, and that means one thing. We're going to drink and win you some money.
My name is Jason Hammer, and welcome to Overreaction Week. Week 2, even though it's technically week 3 of college football, there's a lot of lines that the odds makers have overreacted to. I will tell you about them coming up.
Hey, I am Scott Long. What an amazing slate of Indiana college football today. Oh, I can't wait to get into it. Bring it on. Woo!
This is All Indiana Bets.
You're right. It is overreaction, but we're going to make it fun.
We are. And Scott's right. What an absolutely brutal slate of games if you're a college football fan here in Indiana.
I know.
All 10 of you that aren't Notre Dame fans. Here, what I'm going to try to say right now is we're going to break it down. You want to hear all the names, right? People want to hear those names. That's what we're a local show. But we'll give you picks on games that, are quality games too. So stick with us. We got even food today. Is that correct?
Yeah, you do. I heard it maybe wings.
Oh, I hope
brisket.
so. We'll see.
Little brisket, little wings. That's going to go great with the bourbon. Why don't we just skip
all the rest of that, get some drinks, start eating, and go ahead, Danielle, do your job. I'm sorry, I've already cut into it.
No, it's okay. I know you guys like your food and your alcohol, but...
We're like 1 minute into the show, and Scott's already ruined the flow of the show.
I have. That's what I do.
It sucked all the life right out of the room.
Scott's a little bit upset with the games today, so we'll try to keep him upbeat. But let's get started. The first game on board today features 8th-ranked Notre Dame hosting Marshall. The Fighting Irish are 20.5 points favorite as they look to bounce off from last week's loss to Ohio State. So over and under is set at 50. What do you guys think?
I'm not touching the over and under in this one. If I had to, gun to my head, probably the under here. But I made a bet on Dan Dockich's radio program that Notre Dame would cover 21. The line was 21 at that point, now down to 20.5. So I'm vested into this. I've got beer on the line, a beer bet against Coach Dockich here. I've got the Irish to cover. I do like their defense. I think the defense played, for the most part, okay against Ohio State. They were just worn down because the offense gave them absolutely nothing. Last time I checked, that's not the Buckeyes on the opposite side of the field today. And it's the home opener up in South Bend, so all the bells, all the whistles, the Golden Dome, the fight song, the leprechaun, all that stuff. I think it's close for a little while, but by that fourth quarter, big, strong Notre Dame offensive line beats down Nevada. Give me the Irish to cover 3 touchdowns. It's not an official play, Scott, but it's a beer bet for me.
Well, thank you for giving us all that info. I put no time into it. I'm
shocked.
No, I did watch the game tape. We Are Marshall. It's a decent movie. I enjoyed that.
Matthew McConaughey doesn't wear deodorant.
I love him about that in his pits. And I will also tell you that I also love Randy Moss. And I watched Rand U. I don't know anything about Marshall. They're a MAC team. They usually have a little more talent than a lot of the other MAC teams because they're farther south. I'll just tell you, I would lean towards Marshall because I think Notre Dame's going to have a hard time scoring all year.
Is Marshall even in the MAC anymore?
Are they not?
I don't believe they are.
Maybe
they are, maybe they're not. I was there at Ball State, though, when Chad Pennington and Randy Moss played against Ball State. And they would throw the dude a slant. Yeah. He would catch a 5-yard slant and then run 70 yards to the house. I'll never forget that.
That's a good time to be there.
Hey, let's get to some of these really good games. Right
here we go. Okay, Scott, there's other games in Indiana today.
Look at this slate.
We have Indiana State at Purdue, and we have Idaho at Indiana. And
tickets are available,
Western Michigan at Ball State. You see the numbers right there. Let's start with Hammer, because Scott is just not into this. Make a wager on one of these games. What would it be?
if I had the opportunity to watch any one of these games or go sit in the John for about 45 minutes and then run some errands, I would probably do that. I think the best spread on the board is probably Indiana, just because Idaho stinks. And it's not because I have this big faith in Indiana. Oh, what an amazing win against Illinois. What a come-from-behind win. Illinois gave that game away. If you bet on Illinois last minute, you are owed an apology from Brett Bielema. Now, if you got him +4, you won with us 2 weeks ago, but that's a different story. Indiana, for me, is the best play on this board here, Scott, but what an awful, just awful array of games here. I would rather listen to Cher's greatest hits than have to sit down and watch any one of these games.
Scott, do I dare ask?
Wow, I think you're nailing all that. I'm not a big Cher fan either. Half-Breed, decent song.
Whatever makes you sleep at night.
That sounds like one of her songs. And I would tell you right now, if I had to watch any of the three, I actually know that the last game that we showed with Ball State, those are MAC teams.
Yes.
Aren't they still
they
Western
are.
Michigan?
Action.
I would lean Ball State in that because I don't think Western Michigan's a touchdown better than Ball State. Indiana State, I don't know anything about them. I don't. Why would I know? Why would I put my time into that? Why would you put your time into that unless you are a Sycamore grad? Let's go to the good games, right? Can we get to the good games?
We've done our contractually obligated part to cover all
This
Indiana
is part of our
bets.
contract.
You can't call the show all Indiana bets if you don't talk about the Indiana teams.
I tried.
Again.
Oh my goodness.
What a
I'll do
slate.
my best Cher flip.
Oh, that was good.
And here come your first picks. So, Scott, your first pick, Oregon? Is that your game, your first pick?
No, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to come right up to the screen.
Oh,
Grandpa.
no.
This
Grandpa's
is what
coming
happens.
close.
Fresno State, here's this point with Fresno State. That line has been moving all week. This is the only quality Mountain West team. I really like Fresno State. They brought back Jeff Tedford, who had huge success there. Oregon State, as you brought up, they had a great start to the season, Danielle. But Boise State, I think, is just not very good. They're a bad Mountain West team. Fresno State is going to be in the top 25 all year. This is the beginning. Lay the money on Fresno, and it's going to be brutally hot in the Valley of California. Oregon's kind of a nice climate. Tough day, tough night, I guess, for Oregon State. Go against the Beavers with Fresno.
All right. And then hammer yours, Alabama, Texas. Where the party's at?
Yeah, this is probably the biggest game of the day today down in Austin. Bama taking on Texas. And listen, here's what we've learned as gamblers. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, and you don't bet against Nick Saban in an early season showdown that features teams from different conferences. These are the games that Nick Saban lives for. Now listen, I know they're high in Texas, they've got a young quarterback, they're feeling good about themselves, and this is a big number. 3 touchdowns is a big number. But Scott, you can appreciate this. We've often talked on this show about certain coaches. They kind of know what the line is, right? The Stoops brothers, they kind of know what the line is. Kirby Smart knows what the line is. Saban, we've heard that about him. He wants to make the alumni some money that are betting on his program.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, this freshman quarterback at Texas, he's not seen anything like what he's about to see today. The athletes, the speed, the size and the power, you're not getting that at the high school level. And plus, let's be honest, Texas joining the SEC soon. Alabama wants to send the message, be careful what you wish for. They're going to go to Austin, they're going to beat the brakes off the Longhorns in front of their own fans, and then say, we'll see you in conference play here soon. Lay the 21 with the Tide. I can't believe I'm going to say this as a Tennessee guy. Roll Tide.
Ooh.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
It didn't feel good. It didn't feel right.
I know how tough that is. So 2 picks down, still plenty more to come, and I'll let you on a little secret though. If you take your phone out, you guys have your phones, scan that QR code that's in the top
There it is. I see
right
it.
corner of the screen. Is that the right?
There it is.
It will take you to our website where all of Hammer and Scott's play have already been posted.
No.
Okay,
All right, get that
You
head
ready?
start, get that jump.
ready for a break?
Can we drink?
You can drink
Okay.
in a minute. But stick around though, we're just getting started. The big news in college football week. The playoff field is expanding to 12 teams. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for sports? The guys will answer that next question next on All Indiana Bets. Okay, the NFL is back starting tomorrow. Join us every Sunday at noon, immediately following Countdown to Kickoff right here on Wish TV. All the NFL picks you could possibly want, from spreads to total to play props and more. We'll have it covered for you on All Indiana Bets. That includes a full betting breakdown of each and every Colts game. Can't even talk today. Starting with tomorrow's season opener against the Houston Texans.
I'm excited for that.
You
excited.
are?
We're ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, me
We'll be
too.
here tomorrow. We might not even leave. We might just camp out.
Why not?
We got drinks, we got food. Might just stay here overnight.
I'll leave you guys there, so I'll see you in the morning. But today's show, it's all about college football, and it's time now to play a little game we like to call Feeling It or Feeding It. Let me get my cards up, like I'm a
Oh.
game show host.
You're going full Gene Rayburn here.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Where's the
You
skinny
ready?
microphone?
Yeah, I need that. Peter, I need a microphone. Okay, first up. Okay, so no odds on this one. But just want to get your guys' thoughts here. Earlier this week, College Football Playoff Committee unanimously voted to expand the playoff to 12 teams beginning in 2026. The 12-team system could be implemented as early as 2024. Okay, Scott, we'll start with you. Are you feeling it or fading a 12-team playoff?
I've already been told that Hammer is fading it. I don't even know why you want to spend any time with that kind of attitude. We are talking.
I'm sorry, Mr.
12
Positivity.
12 teams. Mr. SEC who always gets his 2 teams in or whatever. But Tennessee's not going to be able to break through against Alabama or Georgia. So all of a sudden, Tennessee would have. Think about a home game that's a playoff game in college football. I have been dreaming of this day where, like, an Ohio State or a Michigan gets to play an SEC team in December at home. All of a sudden, football is being played. You know what's going to be the number one thing that's going to happen that's a negative about this? That the top 4 teams get a bye. Those 4-team fan bases are going to be like, do you mean we didn't get a home college football play? It's such an amazing thing. This should have been going on 2 decades ago. All of a sudden, there's like 41 teams in the past decade that would have been in the playoffs. There have been 41. There's been like 9 in the 4-team playoff. Love this. Make it happen.
So this is the difference between Scott and I. He likes to pass out participation trophies. Oh, you're 3rd place in your conference. Maybe, just maybe, you can get in and get a home playoff game. Listen, there aren't 4 good teams in the regular playoff every year. Go back and look at the 4 teams that have been in the Final Four of college football the last couple of years. How many legitimate good teams have there been? 2, maybe 3 each year? Very rarely is there 4. No, we don't need this. It waters down the whole process. This is what makes college football great. If Tennessee wants to make it into the Final Four, beat Georgia, beat Bama. They're on your schedule. You play them every year. And the same could be said for a lot of these folks. The path is there. Win the Big Ten. Schedule somebody good. Beat somebody good. You don't need to water down the process here. You don't need to pass out feel-good games to people. No, this stinks. I'm fading it.
Oh, man, you know what? I know you probably hang out with all those Fat Cat Bowl guys that wear their, like, Century 21 Monday Night Football jackets. And they're like, hey, come to our, Wow Chip, bowl game or whatever. And then you feel that afterwards. I couldn't disagree more. What's the next one?
Well, you guys argued too long.
Oh, they've
so we
already
don't have
told
an
us.
extra
Come on. Hey, do I look like a Wow Chip guy? Look at me. Do I look like a Wow Chip guy? Come on.
Okay, since they went too long, I can't even use my cue cards anymore like a game show host, so we'll just go to Hammer's second picks. What do you got?
So gamblers will know that there's a big difference in half of a point to a full point. Heaven forbid a 1.5. The point spread in Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Great matchup today in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was getting 7.5 points in some spots earlier in the week. And I had every intention of scooping up Pitt as a home dog getting more than a touchdown. but the line has moved. And we want to be as accurate as we can here on this show. So it's under a touchdown now, and I was out. But this total can be had because Tennessee's going to put some points up, and I've got very little faith in the Tennessee defense to stop anybody. Don't be fooled at the Ball State game that Tennessee played on Thursday of last week. Ball State stinks. Tennessee's defense is not there yet. Tennessee's going to play at a fast pace, which means you're going to have a lot of possessions, lots of opportunities to hit the over here. We're going to ride the Lightning. We're going over 64.5.
All right, Scott, your second pick, BYU.
This is probably, I think, the best game of the day. You know, we're going to talk about, of course, Texas and Alabama. We're going to talk about, Indiana State and Purdue. What I'm telling you is this is a really top-notch game. These are going to be two top 20 teams all year. So you're like, well, why would you take the road team, Baylor, at BYU? I think BYU, even though they did win easily against South Florida, that was a South Florida team that was just a mess during that whole game. I really like Baylor. I love the coach, Aranda, and I think that if you haven't been to Provo, beautiful place. It also, time for a little promo for Scott. My comedy special, the Dry Bar comedy special, was recorded in Provo, Utah. It's called Dry Bar because unlike our show, they can't drink there. It's a dry place, so they eat candy. Point is, drink your booze, go for Baylor. They are the right side.
I have no idea why you picked that pick, but now I want to watch your comedy special.
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
Yes. Here we go. You guys ready to head to the bar?
Yes. It's not a dry bar, is it?
It is not a dry bar. There's a ton of bourbon over there, and that's no better place to have Scott's famous long shot or Hammer's Degenerate Special. We'll do that all next on All Indiana Bets.
That was good. No, yes, here I am.
That is the
long
best thing you've ever said. He just called me boss man, and I will take
cheers
that
to that. I am so excited about finally giving a winner in the long shot. The season starts this week, as far as I'm concerned. The NFL is going to.
What's happened the previous week, Scott?
That didn't really exist. We were just doing practice shows. They were like preseason. So today we are looking at Boston College against Virginia Tech. Did you see what happened to Virginia Tech, Hammer? Oh my gosh, they were horrible in their first game. They lost at home to an FCS. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. This is a winner. Don't sprinkle, dump on the money line. Boston College has a great quarterback named Phil Jurkovec, and Phil got hurt last year, and they went down the tubes. They are a different team with him. He is the difference maker. The new defensive coordinator, or the old defensive coordinator from Penn State, is now Virginia Tech's coach. He's got to reboot that whole organization. It's tough to win in Blacksburg. That's the only reason. But I'm going to take my drink right now, and I'm going to cheers to Boston College and my first long shot of many.
So we have mixed up a little, what do we got here? This is the Evan Williams Peach.
Yeah.
Evan Williams Peach with, of course, Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, God.
Iowa, Beech Grove,
cheers.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Cheers to
This is
that.
the way we get down when we mix up our booze.
It's all about that Evan Williams. It tastes so good. So go ahead.
Yeah.
You can have.
I'm drinking it straight.
You can have your pumpkin spice nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the Evan Williams Peach.
Yeah.
And we got a degenerate special for you. This is a game that nobody cares about, but Vegas cares about it because they put a line on it. And if they're going to do all that work, we're going to make the money on it. The money you can win on this game is the same money you would win on Alabama and Texas. And we are going to the MACtion, Central Michigan, the Chippewas hosting South Alabama. So let's go back a week ago. I know this is overreaction week.
Sure.
So South Alabama, they played an FCS school, Nicholls State, beat the brakes off of them. Central Michigan, on the other hand, they went down to Stillwater and they took on the number 12 team in the country, Oklahoma State. You look at the final score, probably wasn't as close as, the game really was. But the fact of the matter is, Central Michigan did not embarrass themselves against the Cowpokes down in Stillwater. Their quarterback can sling it, and their coach, maybe you remember this guy, Jim McElwain. You remember him from such schools as the Florida Gators. I think he's going to have this offense ready to go. I don't know if anybody can stop anybody here. This is going to be one of those typical MAC-hosted games. I know South Alabama's not in the MAC, but they're going to play this like a MAC game. A lot of passing. Central Michigan will dictate the pace. Over 59. We're going to ride that out, and that is your Degenerate Special.
All right.
Now, what were you drinking again? You went straight, right?
Oh, I always go straight. No, I am drinking the Evan Williams small batch. But you guys didn't know the stories about larceny, did you?
Well, we know the stories of larceny. I grew up in Beech Grove.
Oh, here we go.
Gosh, you beat me to it.
Thanks. There's no off switch on this genius panel.
The best is yet to come on All Indiana Bets. We'll give you your best bets of the day, brought to you by Evan Williams Bourbon, coming up. It's really good, though.
Smooth peak.
Great.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
All right, time now for our best bets of the day, and they are brought to you by Evan Williams Bourbon. Hammer, you are 2-0. I don't mean to jinx you this season, but...
Oh, man, that's like telling a pitcher he's got a no-hitter going on right now. You just let it ride.
It's impressive.
Perfect game.
For so far.
You did that to me a couple nights ago. So the White Sox pitcher has a no-hitter going. I get a text from Scott. I need this. I've had a rough day. It was still going on. It hadn't got to the ninth yet. Lo and behold, he gives up a hit in the ninth. That's the fault right there. That's who's to blame.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on a heater right now, and I got a best bet for you today. This is the one that I like more than any other bet, and we're going to go down to Stanford. USC and Stanford. Lincoln Riley inheriting a heritage program at USC. Now, the line has gone up. This was 8 most of the week. It's now up to 8.5. But Andrew Luck is not running out of that tunnel. At least not as a player. I've heard that he's enrolled as a student at Stanford, but he's not coming out to play quarterback. I like what Lincoln Riley is doing at USC. The only concern here is, can the Trojans stop the run? Because Stanford's going to try to run the ball down your throat. Can USC stop the run? It's not their strong suit. But if you can get just a little defense out of the Trojans, this is a bet that USC should cover. They're going to score some points here as long as they don't make the mistakes themselves. Let's lay the 8.5. Give me the Trojans.
All right, Scott, who's your best bet?
I have to say, Arizona traditionally plays these, their pre-conference games. And often what they'll do is they'll bring in these northern teams, and it's like 110 degrees, and they just sweat out, and they win a lot of those games. Not the last 2 years. They've been the worst team almost in college football. They looked better last week, got me, Papa, some points, but Mississippi State, it'll feel like a cool day. It's the most armpity place in America in the summer is Starkville, Mississippi. I am telling you, they're going to come to Arizona and be like, oh my gosh, this feels like, I can't believe it. Give me a mint julep. I love Mississippi State. This has been my favorite game I have seen all year. Love Mike Leach, love the air raid, and Mike Leach has no problem running up the score because he doesn't like anybody but Mike Leach. He's not caring about anyone else's feelings. Take Mississippi State, watch the game, it'll probably be over by the third quarter, but cash the ticket after the game ends.
One person's Stark Vegas is another person's armpit.
Yes.
Oh my.
That's my analogies.
Okay, now it's time for a segment we like to call Ballin' on a Budget.
Yeah.
Hammer, take it away.
So let's say you had a rough night last night. You got fired, your girlfriend left you, you went out and you spent too much money, you have those receipts in your pocket, and you're like, whoa, my bank account has dwindled. Relax, your boys got you here. Even if you just have $5 left, you can turn that into 50, and this is how we're going to do it. So North Carolina, laying 7 against Georgia State. North Carolina is going to be the worst 3-0 team in this country at the end of the day today. They should have lost last week. They should have lost in week 1, but they can score. They can't stop anybody, but they can score. I'll take the Tar Heels here to lay 7. Easy for me to say. Tennessee, point totals, just on the Volunteers alone, nobody else. We're going to go over 34.5, and we're going to mix in some Major League Baseball on the money line. Giants over the Cubs. The Cubs won yesterday. Ain't no way they're winning 2 in a row. And the Mets, they now are in a battle for the division lead. The Braves and the Mets are going at it. Every game matters. Give me the Mets over the Marlins here. Make this bet, parlay it together. $5 turns into 50. You're welcome.
And we're sorry about your breakup. Coming up next, it's time to check in with the authority on all things sports gambling.
My man.
His name is Alan Cashman, but we like to call him the Cashman. And he's going to give you a pair of college football winners next.
Wise guy winner. There's the face of a wise guy winner. Alan Cashman, he's here. And I'm not going to waste any more of your time except for one question. You're up in the breaks, and your face is on a 50-foot television screen in our studios. What were you getting in your fridge when we saw you, Alan? Go ahead, tell us what were you...
Just a bottle of water.
That was one of the worst answers. Next time, make up something.
I have some leftover pizza that I'm going to hit here after we get off the
Okay,
air.
we're going to hit barbecue soon. The reason we have you on, secondly, is for your picks, too. So let's hear about your first pick here.
All right, thank you. I'm going to take Duke plus 10 today at Northwestern. Made an executive decision, upgraded this to a subscriber play this morning. I don't think Northwestern is ready to be laying 10 just for beating Nebraska on a neutral site in a game Nebraska had won. Duke did beat Northwestern last year. I think the Blue Devils have improved at quarterback with Riley Leonard, like what I saw for him last week. Both of my computer models, 2 and 3, agree with this play, and they were 60 and 64% respectively last season when we agreed. Duke is 7-2 against the spread their last 9 versus the Big Ten, so I'm going to take Duke plus 10 today at Northwestern.
That is the face of an executive right there. The executive decision. Alan Cashman, do you have a second executive decision? What's happening, Alan?
I do. I'm going to take Fresno subscriber play. I sent this out Monday at +1 for Fresno State. If you like +1, you probably like to pick them here. I think Fresno wins the game. I think Oregon State beat a Boise team last week that really just didn't look like they were ready to go. Fresno can run the ball. They can pass the ball. I love their quarterback, Jake Haener. Oregon State is 0-4 against the spread their last 4 road games. Fresno State 6-0 against the spread their last 6 versus the Pac-12. Both models 2 and 3. My computer projections also agree with this game. That's a good sign, recipe for success. So I'm going to take Fresno State on the show as a pick 'em for this week.
Love that. I was also on Fresno. It's why I didn't give many reasons for it. Cashman does that. I just give you context. Now, Alan, how do people find out about these winning picks? I'm a subscriber. How do they find out how to be one?
You can follow me on Twitter at @TheCashmanWins and go to my website, thecashmanwins.com. You can actually go to the top of the page, get a monthly subscription for just $20 a month. Go to thecashmanwins.com, and I will help you with your betting discipline, and I'll make you money too.
Thanks again, Alan. Hopefully 2-0. That's what we're looking for. Are people walking in now? Is that what we do here? Please walk in. I am exhausted running that segment. That just throws me off.
This is your chance to shine, Scott.
Yeah.
This is your solo chance to shine.
Job.
You're kind of like an older, fatter Ryan Seacrest right here. This is your chance to do the thing
I
up.
wouldn't say that.
I'm wearing some from the Seacrest collection from Macy's.
You look really, really sharp. Hey, we're not done handing out winners yet. More picks are on the way, including my pick.
Oh,
the Mick pick.
The Mick pick is back, baby.
Yeah, it's back. Did you not read my Mick pick last week?
We did not.
We did not.
I texted you. Coming up next, I'll fill you in, since these guys didn't. All right, it's time for our final pick. Scott, would you like to do the honors and go first?
I would. I don't
Okay.
think people would even, like, that are our regular viewers would ever think, Scott, there's an Iowa State Herky
here we go.
Hawkeye matchup. Where's your pick? Here it is, okay? Iowa has won 6 straight times against Iowa State. So why wouldn't you take them the 7th time? Don't you believe in your team? I don't believe in my team. Did you see them last week? They scored 2 safeties and a field goal and won the game. It's unbelievable. Do you know what kind of stress I'm under watching this team? Much stress. It's not fun to even be a winner, and winning is so fun. So I'm taking the over-under is what I'm trying to tell you. Well, why would you take the over-under? They won 7-3 last week because they're holding it back for the biggest non-conference game of the year. This is the bucket game for the state of Iowa, except if people really love football. So what I'm going to tell you right now is take the over. I know this sounds crazy, but take the over. Most of these games have gone over. They held things back. Both teams, they played FCS teams. This is another winner. Scott's going 4-1 or 5-0 this week. Put it down.
And that's an example of the overreaction that we talked about. That's such a low total because of what Iowa did last week. Does anybody think Iowa's going to be that bad offensively again?
Possible.
Hopefully they get their safeties this week. Hammer, what's your final pick?
So Florida and Kentucky, this is an interesting game here. Kentucky beat Florida a year ago, and I just don't know if they can do it 2 years in a row. This game is down in the swamp, and here's another example of an overreaction. Everybody's talking about Florida's big win against Utah last week. The one thing that I noticed watching that game is Florida's defense is not very good. Florida's defense can be had. They're not good at stopping the run, and honestly, if Utah doesn't self-destruct on that final series at the goal line, Florida loses last weekend. I think you've got 2 really good quarterbacks here, 2 defenses that I don't have a lot of faith in, and this is a pretty doable over-under. This isn't a big number. This isn't 55, this isn't 56. It's 51.5 for a game that I think is going to be pretty close, possibly overtime. Give me the over in this one, 51.5. It's a fade against both defenses. Again, an overreaction on the Gators here. The odds makers made a mistake. We're going over.
There you go. Okay, sorry you missed it last week. I did text these guys about my Mick pick.
It lost.
It won. I was under. I took under of Georgia and Oregon, although they tried to.
I made that pick too.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're making the same pick again, me and Hammer. I am taking Alabama and Texas. -21. I think Alabama's going to pull this up. These are 2 coaches that know each other and how their minds work. The spread has been changing, 4 points now?
Yeah.
So I think Coach Saban, he is 25-2 against his former assistants. I think Texas will have some knowledge of how to handle them in the first half, but I think Alabama's depth is going to pull away in that second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, and Texas cannot keep up with that. So welcome to the SEC, Texas. You're going to lose by over 20. Sorry.
There we go. We are undefeated when we pick the same game.
Can I mention something? I will be rooting for Texas because I would love to feel better about myself versus these guys. That's how insecure I am.
I feel great about myself already. I look good in this purple today. I feel like a sexy joker.
I feel good with this bourbon. So, hey, if you missed any of Hammer or Scott's pick over the course of the last hour, don't worry. We've got you covered. The boys are going to give you a full recap of all the things of their plays. Coming up next. Cheers. Cheers, winner.
Cheers. Let's go. All right, thank you folks for hanging in there. It's all Indiana bets. Let's recap what Scott and I have got on the big board today. I'm in on the Tide. I like the over in Pittsburgh and Tennessee because that point spread went way down, and I don't feel comfortable about that. My best bet of the day, USC, laying 8.5. It's a lot in a conference road game, but I like what Lincoln Riley is doing here. How about the degenerate special? We've got South Alabama, Central Michigan. We're going over, and we're going over again on Kentucky and Florida. Overreaction week. These totals are just not right, Scott.
I'm liking your picks for the most part. Here's where I would be. This is a 4-1 or 5-0. This is tape it right now. Fresno, I don't know if they're Fresno State, Fresno, whatever they are. Take them in the pick 'em. Lines came down nicely. Baylor plus 2.5, probably the best game of the day. I like Baylor winning. straight up. Boston College +3, another straight up dog winning. Mississippi State -10.5. That is a steal line. Arizona helped us last week. And Iowa State, Iowa, I'm looking at like a 21-20 game. Iowa will probably kick, I don't know, 1 field goal and have about 9 safeties. So take the Hawkeyes over the Cyclones by 1 point, 41 points.
So those are our picks. Danielle's got the Tide to cover as well. That's the Mick pick. And now let's go to our producer, Peter. Now, Peter, 2-0 against the spread last week.
Thank you.
Wow, congratulations.
Congratulations, Peter. Let's keep the winning rolling. What do we got?
By the way, if you hear panting in the control room, it's not the intern, Chris. Patty Spittler's dog, Stewie, is back here with me. Unfortunately, you can't see him, but he's having a great time, and he's going to love these picks. Toledo -28. I just couldn't pass it up. This line was 30 earlier in the week. It's moved down to 28, and you're talking about a UMass team that is legitimately, when I say the worst team in the country, they are the worst team in the country. There is no one worse. These two teams played last year. It was 45-0 before UMass scored a garbage time touchdown late, and the personnel is mostly the same. So we'll go -28 with Toledo. And then going on the road to Oklahoma is Kent State. You're talking about a Kent team that went up to Washington last week, had to fly back home after a late game, and now fly back across the country to face a Brent Venables defense that's not going to let them run the ball, which they prefer to do. 33 points is a lot to lay, but we'll take the Sooners. We'll go 2-0 again this week. Stewie just licked his lips. I think that means he likes the pick. And I think Scott just licked his lips too because he's hungry. He wants some barbecue.
I do, and I'm going to refer to that animal now as Panting Spittler.
Panting Spittler.
Patty's dog, Panting Spittler.
You gotta laugh out of Patty, Scott, so way to go. Oh, hold on, she's coming. Patty, come on in. Patty, come in.
Bring Patty in. There she is.
Patty Spittler on Indiana Bets.
Hi,
is the franchise.
All right, thank you so much. And oh my goodness gracious, Scott, do you like wings?
Oh my, yeah, I'm not, it's brisket.
Brisket?
Oh my gosh, and it is unbelievable. And there's mac and cheese.
Even better. Is that
There's
mac and
fish.
cheese? Dude, let's just go to break because we got to get ready to eat.
Let's go.
We are going to have some grub. Kenny Owens coming up with us next. We're going to find out what he brought with us for this tailgate. This is All Indiana Bets. Look at this array of awesomeness right here.
Hammer, I apologize. Look at the wings. We've been asking for this for so long.
I knew wings were here. I could smell the wings. And Scott was like, no. Dude, I know wings when I smell it. And Pull Up Grill has arrived. Kenny Owens is here with the goods. Kenny, how you doing, man?
Oh, good.
Did you know that this was the weekend of Kenny? Because at the Jim Irsay thing that they did at the Dome, well, I still call it the Dome. I still call it the Dome. Hey, here's who they had. Kenny Aronoff at drums. They had Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And now we got the best Kenny of all.
The Kenny right
Kenny
here.
Kenny Owens bringing us food.
Pull Up Grill is in the house. Man, tell us a little bit about what we got here.
We got some smoked wings. Had those, smoked those this morning early. Got mac and cheese, and then also some turkey ribs or fried turkey.
Now, you mentioned you smoked these wings this morning. This isn't like a lot of places where everything's frozen in the back. You just run it through like a microwave. Here's your wings. Like, you guys go out of your way to like flavor this stuff, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Every day we cook fresh every day. Nothing frozen, so yeah, we take pride in that.
What's the key to this sauce? Oh, that smells so good. Is this like a KC masterpiece? You just buy this at the Walmart, or what's going on here?
No, we have we make our own sauces. We do have a couple Roosters blend. That's my grandfather's name.
Wow, you guys make your own sauce.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hey, you better pass the sauce. Don't bogart the sauce here, man. This is the best part. So what do we have up here?
Turkey ribs. So a lot of people aren't familiar with them. Basically, it's like a shoulder cut with turkey. They call them ribs instead of shoulder. I think it sounds a little more.
Are you guys gonna be mad if I
appetizing.
just grab it with my bare hand? Can I just go in there? Because this is the beef grove in me. Like, and you guys are close to my old stomping grounds. Like, where are you guys located at?
We're at 2412 East Raymond, just at the corner of like Raymond, Churchman.
What's going on with this picture here?
That's my grandfather. He's kind of paying homage to him is why we started the restaurant. Rooster's Pull-Up Grill's the official name, and that's Rooster.
Are these some of his recipes? Or?
Yeah. We try to get as close to recipes as we could.
Do it again. All right.
There we go.
So
this is so good, by the way. Man, this sauce.
Hey, save some for me.
Hey, let me tell you, by the way, Kenny. Good.
Nice to meet you, Kenny.
That's it.
This is amazing, by the way. This is tailgate food. If you're going to watch football, whether it's NFL or college, this is the place you go to. And the address is on the screen there. Pull Up Grill. Man, this is awesome.
And I hope you warn a brother, though, when they're digging into that chicken strip and there's a big rib bone right in there.
Okay, Whitey's got to eat. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, we're here tomorrow for the first NFL. We'll break it all down.
Thank you,
Bills
man.
versus Texas.
Appreciate it.
At noon, only here.
This is awesome.
Till then, enjoy your college football day.
May the odds be ever in your favor. We're going to keep eating.